Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And the man Stephen Comlo.
Hello.
Now, if you're new to our show, we like to think of ourselves as the sports show for sports fans about sports. We talk about what happens inside the lines of competition rather than the outside noise, which borders on reality, TV, TMZ-like rhetoric you see these days. Before we get into our top catch for this show, just a reminder to follow us on all of our socials. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for this week, and this week we're going to go with college football, right? I know the boy always does the winners and losers, and as he's doing winners and losers, Kamala, if you could kindly bring up the newest college football playoff rankings which just got released about an hour ago, our time here on the East Coast on Tuesday. So, boy, what do you got?
Yeah, let's start with the losers, as we always do, because it's more fun that way. L for love.
L for love.
My first losers, so I'm going to start I have 4 through 1 with the losers. Didn't have a fifth loser this week, surprisingly enough.
Gone soft. Let's just give everyone a trophy. These aren't losers. They're non-winners, please.
No, these are losers. VA, you're my first loser, you jackass.
It's not good.
Just for that, you're my first loser. And the biggest reason UVA is a big loser, your UVA is still fine in the grand scheme of it all with the ACC championship, getting into the CFP. You're still okay with that. You still control your own destiny. So this loss didn't destroy you. What it does is your margin of error is gone. So you have to win the next 2 games, which is at Duke and then home versus Tech, which again, very losable, these next two games. But the biggest reason why you're a loser is that your quarterback got hurt. Hopefully he plays against Duke. UVA's just decimated with injuries on the offensive line, and now you're heart and soul of the team.
He's still in concussion protocol. Did practice with the team or did something in practice yesterday?
He was still in street clothes. Yeah, he was still in street clothes today. They're hoping to get him back tomorrow and cleared. But yeah, that's a big problem. The offense has trending downwards. Defense looks great. I mean, I looked at the box score of that game, and UVA outgained Wake Forest in every category. There was a punt return for a touchdown and multiple fumbles.
UVA lost 3 fumbles, yes.
Yeah, can't have it. That's why you lost the game. I mean, you literally could have held them to probably 3 points and won the game 9-3.
Yeah.
But you lost. And
you also, the play after Chandler Morris, the quarterback, got hurt. The backup came in, ran for 54 yards to the 1-yard line, and you couldn't score a touchdown. So I mean, that's
a problem. I don't know how you don't
really
Taylor.
You don't really deserve to win the game if you can't.
What happened on that? Did they not get Taylor 4 carries?
Don't know.
They probably fumbled one of those. I wasn't able to see it because even though I have ESPN Plus, I wasn't able to watch ESPN.
Let them know.
Absolute joke.
Did you redeem your $20 credit from YouTube TV, by the way?
I just did today.
Nice. Good.
Thanks, Disney. Jackass.
Thanks, YouTube.
Apparently Disney
really grinds my gears.
Apparently they're losing $4.3 million a day, by the way, because of this.
Who?
Disney is.
Disney's
losing.
That's how though?
Change.
Is it their stocks that are losing that? Because in a lot of ways, I don't want to defend it because this is trillionaires and a $1 trillion company arguing $100 billion company, right? Boo-hoo for you. But, we switched right away because I was like, I'm not you only get so many weekends a year to watch these things. I'm not going to miss this stuff. Hulu.
Scam.
Which is, part of the Disney bundle. And so we were like, this is probably on purpose on their part, absolutely on purpose.
100%
It's 100% on purpose to try to get people to switch to their platform. And I hate being part of, essentially, now I'm part of the problem, but I'm also not going to sit there and be victim to, the bickerings and all the, just the scam of that bullshit, right? So I'm going to watch my things I want to watch. And with young kids, we need Disney Plus. Like that's we have to have it for what they do. So since we already had it anyway, it made all the sense in the world to just do that, especially with the costs being roughly the same when you bundle it. But it is kind of it almost.
Bundles.
It's almost it's
I assumed if I
capitalism at
had
its
ESPN,
finest, but it's also anti-capitalist because now it's let me manipulate people to
it's bullshit.
get what I want as opposed to
I
being the better
assumed since I have Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, I'd be able to watch ESPN or ABC whenever I want because I pay for those things. But apparently I can't do that.
Wrong.
Which is that's the biggest issue that people are. It's like, okay, well, I have all these things. I should be able to watch every game. I have YouTube TV plus the ESPN Plus package. So now I can go to ESPN Plus and turn on a game. Nope, can't watch the flagship program.
I see why you would think that, idiot.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, moving on. Disney. Ugh. Moving on. My next loser, besides all the customers, my next loser is Memphis. Memphis lost 38-32 to Tulane. Memphis, you got an issue now. Got an issue, especially now because the CFP rankings just came out and USF is up there, even though you beat USF. So clearly they're looking at USF because of their first 2 wins as really, really good. So USF is up there.
Does USF have 2 losses? They do. Memphis and Miami. Well, that's the other thing too that they're looking at, right? The strength of loss makes a difference.
Yeah, you can kind of.
That's why Georgia Tech is ahead of Texas Tech because Georgia is ahead of Texas Tech. Excuse me, because Georgia's losses to Alabama, Texas Tech is to Arizona State. Even if it's on the road, doesn't matter. USF's losses, right, are to Miami and to Memphis by a field goal, right?
Right. I mean, they got smoked by Miami, but
Memphis's losses to UAB and Tulane, even though
the
Tulane
UAB
is a very good team, but the UAB one, yes,
killing you,
and that can't be ignored. So
absolutely, 100%. Yeah. So Memphis is a big loser this week. By the way, USF being ranked where they are in the college football playoff, that means they have the inside track over JMU. That's a big deal because JMU is rolling.
Yeah. That also begs the question too. Right, USF we got 2 losses, but they have a win over
a Power 4,
Florida
and Boise
and Boise State. Right, JMU's 1 loss is at Louisville in a game they should have won.
Yeah, they
had a very good chance.
They turned the ball over too many times. Yeah,
and then it's like 28-14. I think is their loss. So you're right. That is a interesting thing there. But I still think the doors
does have Washington
to...
State. They have Washington State that comes to town in 2 weeks.
And Coastal Carolina, who's got 3 losses, but one of them is
they have App,
that UVA and App State. Yeah.
So App State, Washington State, Coastal Carolina is their last 3 games.
Correct. Yes. So JMU still has that ability to jump them, I believe. Like just because they're ranked, USF is ranked ahead of them now. Colin, if you could scroll down, you could show where USF is. I think they're 24th.
Yeah,
I believe. I still gotta think JMU is team like 26 to 28 somewhere in there.
I'd have to be where
JMU. JMU
yeah,
is.
this is why you
because they don't show they don't show past 25, right? So you have to extrapolate. But I gotta think JMU is somewhere in that 26 to 30 range, probably 26 to 28, and that again, being at 26 versus 24, that's still the ability to jump them, especially right if they could win their conference as 1 loss with those their 1 loss being at Louisville with a win over a Washington State and all the other teams that they've beaten this year. They would still have a shot to be ranked ahead, but you're right. This does put JMU in a bind a little bit because you technically don't control your destiny. Because if South Florida wins out, you would think, how could you?
You can't jump them, right?
You could because it all depends. JMU could.
But if they beat everyone up, beat the brakes off of everyone, right?
Exactly, right. If they annihilate the next 3 opponents by 40 points, you could say, well, you know what? That changes this, and I don't think people shouldn't be able to get that upset about it because these are supposed to be fluid. It's not supposed to be, just because UVA and Michigan. I'm just looking at or Southern Cal. Well, no, because USC beat Michigan. UVA and Michigan didn't play this year, right? They're sitting fairly identical records. Just because Michigan wins all their games and UVA wins the rest of their games, if that happens, there still should be the ability for one of them, like UVA, to jump Michigan because of what you see on the field. Does that change how you feel? Right.
Yeah.
So that's don't think it has to be that way. Now, is it hard to justify that? It is, because that's all non-quantifiable things that have to have stats to back up. Oh, well, their offense did this, or things like that. But I do think that means JMU's got, obviously they all have a lot of work to do. Every team on here has a lot of work to do, but JMU's got to make sure that they are tightened up, that they still continue to be the hunter and not the hunted. And
yeah, I mean, I'd watch out
as
for that
many
Washington
Kirk
State
Cignetti style points as possible.
Yeah, watch out for Washington State though. Washington State can be nasty.
I mean,
like
gosh,
literally nasty.
That team's 4-5, and they've got two road losses by combined 5 points to the number 19 team and the numbers 7, 8 team and
7. I think 7. Yeah, Ole
and
Miss.
Then and then one of their losses, they got obliterated by North Texas, who's one of those teams, 26-30. That's ranked.
Washington State's gotten better every week.
Well, they did lose to Oregon State, but Oregon State's another team. I know. Well, look at their record; they're so bad. I get it, right?
Talent.
But if you watch, if you look at their schedule too, so many of the teams that they played have winning records and are decent teams. Not so many of these just straight cupcakes that they were losing to, and they easily, I mean, they've been a few plays from having a few more wins, basically, right? So
yeah, I would say, Jamie, watch out for Washington State with their third trip to the East. That team's going to be looking to knock someone off. I mean, they as we said, they had 2 shots on the road to Ole Miss and UVA, and could have easily won both of those games. So yes. JMU, you have to win. So watch out for Wazoo. Moving on. My number 2 loser of the week. Somehow this team is not my number 1 loser, just because I guess they had a chance to the playoffs, but not really. Kind of didn't really see it. But they probably should have been on this list. I think they were last week. But Washington lost to Wisconsin. Wisconsin sucks. Wisconsin is so bad, and we have been railing on Wisconsin all year.
Do you know who Wisconsin's leading passer was in that game?
It was the punter.
The punter on a fake punt.
Jesus Christ.
And
they won the game.
They won the game.
Yeah. That's a horrendous loss by Washington.
I do not care that it's in Madison.
I agree. I don't care that it's in Madison. I don't care that it was sleet. I don't care. That is a horrendous loss. You cannot lose that game. And Washington, your season's over.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, your season's over.
They had a lot of ability to.
Yeah, they're a good team.
I don't want to say they controlled their own destiny, but in a lot of ways they did, because I believe they have to play Oregon the last game of the year. So if that
your opportunities.
Exactly. You go into that game and you're still 2 losses. Oregon's got whatever their 1 loss, and you beat them. Now it becomes you're in the conversation. If you don't,
Absolutely.
even if you didn't, you're not going to get. Even if you're not going to get to the Big Ten title game, you're at least in the conversation. Now you're right; they're done.
Yeah, your season's over. And then your number one loser is Louisville. Louisville losing to Cal at home, and the reason you're the number 1 loser is that you no longer control your own destiny. You cannot. If
everyone wins,
you need help.
The ACC championship.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. You need help to get to the ACC championship and therefore the college football playoff, and that's a shame, because Louisville's a good team, but you can't make those mistakes. You can't slip up.
I said last week was bullish on Louisville.
Yes, really you were, and I told you that UVA and Louisville are closer than you think.
And they both had egg on their face on Saturday night.
Correct. So Louisville is your number 1 loser. That's tough for the Cardinals.
You know what's interesting, Kama? If you scroll down, you'll see that UVA is ranked 1 spot ahead of Louisville in the CFP, but in the AP poll,
because the AP poll is so stupid.
Yes, obviously they do different things. The AP poll is flipped. I know I had Louisville ranked ahead of UVA because I thought Louisville was a better team.
That was your power
ranking, right? But if you're doing a ranking, you can't put Louisville over UVA the same way you can't put Michigan over Southern Cal because USC beat them, right?
Correct.
The same way you can't put Vandy over Texas, and that you can't put Oklahoma over Texas because they beat both those teams, right? And
Correct.
you can't put
UVA beat Louisville on the road, and UVA beat Cal on the road, which is the team that Louisville just lost to at home. Louisville's got 2 home losses that destroyed their season.
Yeah. Now
Right?
maybe now if I wouldn't say the UVA one destroyed their season. The Cal one.
No, but defend your home turf type of thing.
Yes,
You lost at home both by 1 score last second. So that's the thing that I think would hurt as a Louisville fan is that you go, how'd we lose those games at home? Your 2 losses are at home.
Yes.
That's what hurts because that can be easily flipped. If you lose on the road, it's not as big of a deal. All right, you ready for your winners?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's go with your number 5 winner, Tulane. We mentioned them earlier. Tulane actually has a very, very good chance at getting to their conference championship because of the rest of their schedule. So Tulane, as we mentioned, like those top teams in the American Conference, Navy, USF, Tulane, North Texas, Memphis, they all kind of have to play each other. But Tulane right now, they're done with that gauntlet. Their last 3 games versus FAU, at Temple versus Charlotte. So they get 2 Owls in a row.
The worst teams.
Yep.
In that conference.
So Tulane has the inside track. And they probably most likely will face, I'm not going to say will face, but most likely could face South Florida because South Florida has Navy, UAB, and Rice. You get past Navy, you thinking
that's the wrench there actually in the whole AAC is that Navy USF game, because even though Navy just got obliterated by Notre Dame, that's not a conference game. So they still just have 1 conference loss, whereas
Navy still controls their own destiny.
The same as USF has 1 conference loss. So basically, the winner of that game is going to basically gets in, right? Because it just depends. Obviously, North Texas has they have 1 loss, period, correct?
Yes.
And that is to
USF. Yeah, they got smoked by USF.
So USF completely controls their destiny, but again, that Navy USF game throws that wrench because if Navy wins that, now you have that chance at a 3-way tie at the top with all 3 teams beating the other team.
Yeah.
Yes. Which then that's like, what do we have there? So that game, is that game this weekend or is that next weekend? Do you know?
That's a good question. That is 11/15, so that is this weekend.
USF Navy, yeah, that needs to be something to watch for. Plug when we get there.
Good call. All right, moving on. How about UConn? Not the basketball team. UConn football beat Duke. By the way, this would be a great basketball matchup. That's UConn versus Duke. That's a Final Four matchup.
Are we sure that's not happening this year? Did we check? That may be happening.
I don't know. That'd be pretty sweet. But UConn football, 37-34 win over Duke. One of the best games of the weekend. UConn has a receiver that should be in the Biletnikoff conversation, Skylar Bell. He's got like 82 catches on the year for like 1,300 yards.
A lot of catches.
He's been unreal. I kept flipping to that game. Every time I flipped over, that dude had like 3 catches on a drive. It's fantastic. UConn football, they're a fun team. And they're dangerous. And Duke, again, not a conference game, so still alive in the ACC, and it's actually the wrench that throws the ACC into the will they get a team into the college football playoff? Because if Duke wins the ACC championship, I don't think the ACC is going to have a team in.
No, so they wouldn't be the. What do you think? JMU would be the next.
JMU, and whoever wins the American.
And then
it would be the 2 high.
That would be hilarious.
Because Duke has 4 losses.
Yes.
You're not going to jump them. I don't think you would. So I really think.
So does that
we went through this scenario. I went through this scenario with one of my coworkers. Say, if the ACC could go into total chaos if everyone loses and you have a bunch of like 5-2 or 6-2 teams for your conference championship, and there's like I have no idea what the tiebreakers are, but then you're very much in jeopardy of not having a team go to the college football playoff. The
Yeah,
ACC
so does
is
That's
wild.
wild.
does that make this weekend's UVA Duke game the most important
huge.
game in ACC conference history?
I wouldn't say because you're gambling not getting a team to the
Yeah,
college football
but
playoff.
that's yes, because if UVA loses that game, you like you said, you open the door for everything. If UVA beats Duke, it's the discussion's
Duke's
over.
done. Yeah, Duke's done, and you're fine.
Right,
Whoever-
and so the AC could breathe a sigh of relief.
but
but
Duke's
if UVA drops
Duke's
that,
favored by 6.5. by the way.
Duke has been favored to win that. Duke's if you I've talked about this I think before with you guys, but when you click on the matchup on ESPN, it gives you like the
FPI
match predictor, and
Yeah.
Duke has been favored based off a % chance to win forever
What?
for this game, like weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
yep. It was. I think it was 3.5 points last week. It's
I
a
think it's 6.5.
61-39. It's 6.5 now, but I
Yeah,
think it was
that's a
3.5 last week
Pretty big spread for
for two
a
teams that
ranked
just lost.
team. Yeah.
And it's just kind of it's fun too because it like UVA's 8-2 and Duke's 5-4, and the 5-4 team's favored by 6.5.
Well, I believe Duke also, when you go back, like I have said this before, Duke is a weird, scary team based on a lot of these things. They were favored by the match predictor to beat Georgia Tech. They actually might have been favored on the betting line as well in that game by like
They outplayed
1.5,
them too.
2.5, and they should have won that game. Yeah, so Duke is
Duke's dangerous.
yes, you don't want to play them if they can get to bowl eligibility, which you would think they should be able to. You don't want to play them in the bowl game. You don't want to play them. Period. Like they do a lot of things that just throw you off. They have a good quarterback.
They have a great quarterback. Yeah, that team's a problem. So that is a big game. But UConn over Duke. That was a big win for UConn. And then moving on, JMU. We talked in length about JMU, but they got their win over Marshall. That keeps them going. That's why they were a big winner. They are Marshall. Yeah, I think it was the 75th anniversary of that. Actually, I think they were wearing.
Yeah, they all had 75 on their helmets. Yeah.
Yeah. But JMU, you're feeling okay, but like we said, you have USF in front of you, but you got some opportunities here. Keep dominating, basically.
Keep fucking
They're
that
such a
chicken.
they're such a fun team.
Thank you, Ernie Anastas from 20 years ago.
Takes a tough man to make a tender forecast.
All right, are we done with JMU? Since we talked about
Never stop partying.
there you go. Your number 2 team, number 2 winner of this week, Oregon 18-16 over Iowa.
I would argue that should be number 1.
I have a different team at number 1, but Oregon. The reason why they're not number 1 is because the CFP and the AP voters decided the Ole Miss win over the Citadel was more impressive than Oregon going into Iowa and beating a top 25 team. And somehow Ole Miss jumped Oregon. Did you see that? Like Oregon dropped a spot because of that win, and Ole Miss jumped a spot because they beat the Citadel.
The Citadel. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, that Oregon game, I came away extremely impressed.
Yes, because when would Oregon go into Iowa in a raining sideways sleet storm and win that game?
Feels like 40, pouring rain. It's literally the worst weather you
It's
could
the
be
worst
in.
weather, yeah. You much rather have it be 20 degrees.
Yes.
Snowing
And
or
snowing.
just 20 degrees.
And you come out the victor on the road, no less.
That is the Dan Lanning difference in Oregon.
Yes, incredibly impressed. That win tells me that Oregon can beat any team in the country anywhere. Like they have the capability. And yes, you said, well, it's only Iowa. As we see down here, Iowa is still ranked because Iowa is a good team. They have some pretty impressive victories. Like the essential 40-point blowout over Minnesota at Minnesota in a rivalry game, the Floyd of Rosedale game, by the way. right, is one of them for Iowa, and the longest tenured coach currently at Division One FBS level in Kirk Ferentz, right? So to go into that environment at Kinnick Stadium with the weather as it was, because even without the weather, I think it's still an impressive win.
I
To
agree.
go in there
Yeah,
with the weather and then playing against a team that is essentially Iowa's built to be able to win games like that, right?
correct.
And beat them is incredibly impressive. That solidifies them as a no-brainer. Like they're at 8. They shouldn't ever be ranked lower than that unless they, lose some games or whatever. But they should not. But none of those teams, in my opinion, below them are better than them,
I agree.
or
Yeah,
even could do that. Could win that game.
right. That was a great win for Oregon. Moving on. My number one team. I know you wanted Oregon number one, but I have Texas Tech as my number one team because they play BYU, which is a team that I really, really like, and they beat the hell out of them.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
That was so impressive. That's why they're my number one team. And Jacob Rodriguez needs to get an invite to New York for the Heisman Trophy. That dude's unbelievable, absolute game changer. You don't have a lot of complete and total game changers on defense. Or Texas Tech is legit national championship caliber team. That game solidified it to me because BYU usually doesn't beat themselves. They play solid. They have a great coach. They always have a great offensive and defensive line. The freshman quarterback has gotten better. Their 2 receivers are very, very good. LJ Martin's a great running back, and Texas Tech whooped them. Texas Tech is for real. That's why they're my number one
I'm
team.
gonna scroll up and see where Texas Tech is and the rankings here. Right up, just scroll up so you can see the 1 through 10 there. Yeah, no, I have been on the Texas Tech wagon for several weeks now. After watching them, I think play like their second, third, or fourth game, I was like, okay, oh man,
This
this is
team's
a team.
different. Yeah.
These guys have dogs.
Well, it's one thing to have the
you
talent.
need dogs, but no, the
Yes.
talent is different than dogs.
Yeah.
They have dogs, and you need to have those guys
They're
to win national titles. You do. Like if you look at all the teams that win the national titles, especially in the college football playoff era, it's got to be some badasses out there, and that's what Tech has. They are. I said it before. The one team out of all those teams that are right there projected for the playoffs, it's the one team you don't want to play. I will almost play anyone else, right? If I'm Georgia, and no way in hell do I want to have to play Texas Tech in one of those playoff games.
And they have a dude, David Bailey, number 31.
Yes.
He's got 11 and a half sacks on the year. No gloves. Throwback. Doesn't wear anything on his arms. No gloves. It looks odd. It looks like a creative player in like
Looks
Madden.
badass is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need more dudes like him.
Yeah. Light the fuse to the pyrotechnics.
Yeah. David Bailey, really, really good. No gloves. You can find him everywhere on the field. Love it. That's my winners and losers of this week. You got anything else college football wise?
Well, I was gonna say let's looking at the rankings. Like I said, these came out about close to 2 hours ago now, our time. Ohio State staying number 1. Need to, right? I think they are clearly the number 1 team. Number 2, Indiana. Glad that they stayed there, even though that they had that win. That catch, I believe Omar Cooper is that who made that catch?
Yes.
That catch is
that's one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Yes. Because you have to also consider the circumstances of it, right? Knowing the precedent in previous years that they, at least last year, that they showed to Indiana in the rankings. Knowing precedent of what they've showed to, like, your name on the front means a lot when they rank you, regardless of what your play had shown, right? Those things matter. And if they were to drop that game, they're now in jeopardy of not making the playoff, as crazy as that is. And that, I mean, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but because their name is Indiana.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So, and then they would say, oh, well, it's a bad loss because Penn State's not good. But yet, like,
Penn State has so much talent.
If we're flipped on the other foot and Penn State were number 10 in the country after starting the year number 2, and, they had beat them, in Indiana, they would be like, "Oh, what a great win! We'll move them up."
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
So
Penn
knowing,
State's one of those teams that at any point they can beat anybody in the country because their talent level. If they put it together for one game, they can beat anybody in the country. They've been terrible this year and haven't put it together, but their talent level is still really, really high. It's kind of like some of those SEC teams
yes,
that suck that you go, this like South Carolina, these guys may have the freakiest athletes in the country, but they stink. They can't
yeah,
win a football game. But if they all put it together at the same time, they can beat Alabama,
which they
right?
almost did. Yeah,
Which they almost did. Yeah. So this is the same thing. Indiana against Penn State. This was one of those like I kept waiting for that. I was waiting for this game. Like I had a feeling that was gonna happen. It was gonna be a dogfight.
yeah.
But Indiana, big victory to get out of there undefeated. And that
I
catch is unbelievable. And Gus Johnson is the best.
I mean, his reaction is essentially the same way I reacted to it when I saw it, because it is unbelievable. Because he is looking after he secures the ball, he knows where he is
I don't know
in the
how
air.
his
He's
right
looking at the
foot didn't
ground.
come down first.
I think it might have actually grazed the ground. There are other angles where it looks like it doesn't. It may. There's one angle where it looks like his toes may have grazed inbounds that right foot, and that it's possible that he actually got 2 feet inbounds, which is bonkers.
Beyond ridiculous.
But that is an unreal catch. Unreal. It is one of the best catches I've seen, because also considering the circumstances to win the game, that where they were, all that stuff, right? I love Signetti, right? Before this, so the clip before the game, the sideline reporter's like, "Oh, coach, this team's never won
Indiana's
here,"
never,
and
yeah.
he goes, "This team's never played here."
Signetti's so good.
Oh,
Did you see like how his practices and everything are run? Where he runs like shortest practices out of any coach.
yeah,
And he's like, why am I working these guys? Like we are efficient in our practices and like we work hard in our practices for an hour and a half. Like that's what it is. And then why are my coaches like staying to all hours of the night? We're not going to do that. Like go home. Like you have
yeah.
a family, get your rest. Like it's more important. And you're seeing Indiana, which is one of those things that I've seen. They seem to always have fresher legs. Like
Yeah.
that
Well,
is
they
a
also do
real.
seem to outwork the teams that they play.
They do. They do.
And
Yes.
they normally get off to hot starts, which is, the old motto. It's not how you start, but how you finish. But at the end of the day, though, if you get off to hot starts, you've not put the pressure on the other team. And it's hard to play with pressure.
And it makes the other team one dimensional. And then
yes, as a cross sport comparison, John Smoltz in baseball has talked about this all the time. The pitch count in the postseason, right, is sometimes deceiving because it's about how stressful are your pitches, right? With one guy on base, every pitch you're throwing, the stress is like multiplied exponentially versus no one on base. And that's kind of that same idea. If you get out on the front foot on a team, you jump on them, it's 21-0 before they blink. They become one dimensional. It changes everything. They have to, yes, they can respond. They can come back if you just blow it, right? If you're the Falcons and you do that, but it changes things. And the fact that they routinely do that allows them to have the ability to beat anyone, because they can change the way someone plays and force them to play the way they want them to.
Yeah. Indiana has now back-to-back 10-0 starts.
It's pretty awesome.
That's incredible. By the way, they, I believe, are I think almost a 40-point favorite at Wisconsin or versus Wisconsin next week.
Yes.
Indiana, they have 2 games left. They should probably go undefeated. I don't know who their last game is.
It's Purdue. They always play Purdue at the end.
Purdue last. So they have Wisconsin and Purdue. They'll be undefeated.
Yes.
That's unreal. Indiana Hoosiers football team
has a true chance to
undefeated.
Go into the Big Ten title game 12-0.
The last time an Indiana team was undefeated was Bobby Knight.
Yes. Now, a couple things looking at the polls that, or the CFP that I guess you could take umbrage to, was where BYU is, where Georgia Tech is, and where Tennessee is. So if Kamala could scroll down here a little bit. If you scroll
BYU's
down a
at
little more, you'll be
12.
able to see almost all of them. BYU at
Georgia
12,
Tech.
Georgia Tech at 16, and then for whatever reason, Tennessee's ranked still in there.
Someone's got
Uh,
to explain
right.
Tennessee to me.
And that's why, right? Because Tennessee's beaten no one. Their wins are just as bad as JMU's wins, to be honest. And they have 3 losses, and their 3 losses are to like Bama, Georgia, and
But basically, this is saying as long as you play
Oklahoma.
as long as you play a tough team, it doesn't matter if you win or lose.
But JMU's 1 loss is to a team ranked 3 spots in front of them.
Well, that's
Louisville.
your SEC.
Yes,
That's
right.
the
And so
SEC
that's
difference.
exactly.
This is the issue people have with if you just rank them properly, people wouldn't have an issue with the SEC because anyone should be able to see the SEC is the best conference this year, deepest conference. I should say best. I should say best.
Their top teams are they're not even the deepest. Their bottom teams suck.
Their middle tier is way better than anyone else's.
I could see. Yeah, I mean, I could.
I mean,
Tennessee, right? Tennessee is a good team.
Tennessee's a middle.
They could have easily beaten Georgia or
Missouri's
Georgia and Oklahoma.
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at what? Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Those are your 4 teams that should make the playoff.
Vandy's up there.
Vandy, Texas. Texas
Oklahoma.
is middle, Oklahoma middle, Missouri middle, Tennessee middle. That middle is better than everyone else. But if you rank the teams properly, Tennessee shouldn't be in this. Tennessee's a good football team. They should not be in a top 25 at all.
No.
But and for some reason you jump Ole Miss over Oregon because they beat the Citadel and Oregon went into Iowa and won that game and somehow they flipped. That makes no sense to me either. So that's where people get pissed off about the SEC. Just rank this stuff correctly. You rank it correctly, nobody's upset.
No, I agree.
Well, people will always be upset, but
the issue I have is almost formulaic the way they do it. All right, so you have your undefeated teams first, right? Go whatever the biggest name / defending champ will be ranked 1, which is Ohio State. I'm still surprised that they haven't put A&M over Indiana.
I'm shocked too, and of course the SEC is lobbying for it.
But yeah, I'm sure they're like, oh, how could they be there, right?
Look at their wins.
I am very certain that if Alabama were undefeated, they would be number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Right. So you have that's the formula there. Then your 1-loss teams, you always rank the top SEC teams first. Then it's about, oh, well, this team beat this one, so we'll move them there. Then you give your top Big Ten teams first. Then we'll throw in 2-loss teams. You get to those. Then you do Notre Dame and then your SEC teams. And then you have your 1-loss Big 12, your 1-loss ACC teams will be next. And then your
1-loss Big 12. Well, the 1-loss Big 12 is up there. It splits the 1-loss Big 12.
I know, but you see where I'm going here, where they
I understand. Yeah,
they have to have someone ranked up there as well, so they'll do it. So yeah, it becomes formulaic at that point. Now, the other ones, like I said, BYU and Georgia Tech. So BYU, right? They have 1 loss. Their 1 loss is to Texas Tech at Texas Tech. Why? And they also have a win over the number 13 team right below them. Why are they ranked behind these 2-loss teams in front of them, Oklahoma and Texas
Dame
and Notre Dame?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't answer that question. Well, I guess I can answer. They don't like BYU for whatever reason. They did this last year too.
Yeah, well, because
BYU lost 2 games last year.
Yeah,
and they weren't even a thought to get to the CFP.
Yeah, no, I mean right. That's where you look at that and you go, "What?
I don't know
why." Okay,
what do you
Texas? So
want
Texas has beaten Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, 1 at home, 1 at a neutral site. By the way, right? BYU has 1 loss at Texas Tech, and have beaten the number 13 team, which Texas and Oklahoma, right? Texas' best win is against that Oklahoma team. Oklahoma's best win is what, against Michigan, Tennessee, right? So not to take things away from them, but why do they deserve to be ranked higher?
I don't know.
They don't, because of the name on the front of the jersey means something more to them. Same thing with Texas. If Texas weren't the number 1 team preseason, they would not be there, like we said.
Yeah, I
before.
agree. BYU
And
should be
BYU should be
right behind
behind.
Oregon. BYU should be sitting at 9.
And now I wouldn't have a problem if they put Notre Dame ahead of them because of the fact that Notre Dame's 2 losses are by combined 4 points.
I think it's 4 points to A&M and Miami.
To the number 3 team and to the number 15 team.
However, you say that yeah, I understand that, but why isn't Miami up there? Miami beat Notre Dame. That should count.
Well,
because it's Miami.
I think that was with Georgia Tech should be higher. Right. Georgia Tech's 1 loss. You can say it's bad. It's at NC State, but NC State also beat the number 20 team in the country.
Yeah, NC State's one of those teams that can win.
Right,
any
and
game.
so that's my thing is that it's formulaic. It's like
I understand
they
what you're saying.
predetermine based off of they have tiers.
Yeah, Notre Dame. I think is what Notre Dame will bother everyone, even though you look at the way they play and you go, I believe they should be a top 12 team.
Oh, no, absolutely.
However, they have that loss to Miami, and Miami is 7-2, and for some reason, that doesn't matter. That they have the same record, and Miami beat them, but Miami's not up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. That should why I have no
right,
issue.
That's a
I have
good
no
win
issue ranking Miami below these teams because I don't think they're as good. But then that becomes the hypocritical part of
correct.
Okay, so we're ranking them here because we don't think they're that good, but then we'll rank Texas here because of their resume.
Yeah,
it's like
you're talking out 2 sides of your mouth.
Correct. You can't have it both ways. You either have to be like, well, it's this or it's that. And that's why I get back to the formula, right? Because of the logo on whatever the left chest plate of these teams that says SEC, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt for those teams, even though I agree with Miami being behind all the teams they're behind. I actually think Georgia Tech should be above them. I think Miami should be further down, to be honest. But if you're going to say we rank these teams here because of these things on their resume and these wins and the losses, well, then Miami's win against the number 9 team, Notre Dame, should propel them ahead of almost all those other teams, because how many of those teams ahead of them have a win as good as that? They very few do.
Alabama does.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Miami's got one of the best wins in the country.
A&M does because they beat that same Notre Dame
does
team
as well too. Yeah, so A&M will benefit. Like if A&M loses 2 games, do you think they'll drop below Notre Dame?
No,
they might. No.
Well, actually,
I don't know. This is SEC versus
it's
Notre Dame. Which one?
Yeah,
do you
Notre
want?
Dame has that special status because what the excuse they will give with that is, well, that loss happened early in the season. Notre Dame is playing better right now as a close game, so they would speak out of that side of their mouth to allow Notre Dame to be ranked ahead of A&M if A&M were to drop 2 of their final games here.
Either way, so what do you think as we move into, we got 3 weeks left of the regular season? How many SEC teams do you think are getting in? Because I think 4. It's Alabama, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. I looked at Ole Miss's schedule. They're going to go 11-1.
Well, I think it's 4 to 5 because they'll give the benefit of the doubt to Texas. If Texas wins out, because Texas does have to play A&M the last game of the year.
But this is also, you're right
if A&M
with how they
loses
rank
that
them
game
because
to
BYU.
Texas, yes. So that if A&M were to lose to Texas is in because Texas may not is probably not even going to play in the SEC championship game, but they'll rank them high enough and they'll be set. They'll be good.
Correct. If Texas beats A&M, Texas is in. If Texas loses to A&M, they're out.
Yeah. Because there'd be.
There's going to be some chaos. This is what's fun about it too, is that teams will lose. Teams that are up there will lose to teams they should not have any business losing to. Right? Someone's going to lose to Florida or Mississippi State or something ridiculous.
Well, Ole Miss plays Mississippi State. That's the Egg Bowl, and crazy stuff happens every time they play.
Correct. So someone's going to do something that's as much as you look at it and go, okay, they have the easiest path. We can kind of write them in. Something's going to happen. It always does.
Yes. But no, I guess
these are 18 to 23-year-old kids. Something's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Yeah. West Virginia beat Colorado. I want that on the record. But Rich Rod had his press conference today.
Rich Rod.
Said he's bringing back the fullback next year. He's looking for 2 fullbacks, and he had one of his like I think offensive assistants or strength and conditioning guys. Someone put out like a tweet that was like, "We're looking for Owen Schmitz. We want to break face masks. If you're if you're a fullback, DM us." They're gonna bring in like walk-on fullback Owen Schmitz that are just absolute psychopaths.
Do I still
West
have
Virginia football is
eligibility?
back. Yeah,
I'll obliterate some people.
Yeah.
Got the shoulder pads in the shed. They're there.
All right, send them a
It's
message.
a neck roll on that thing. There's
I
a
don't
neck
think
roll
those
on
will
them.
help you, buddy. I think you're past all that.
I think you're past all that too. But
Love you. Don't want to see
I
you
do
get
need
hurt.
I do need a West Virginia fullback with a neck roll. I think that would take it.
I'll come dressed as that next show.
Chad
you send me a
Powers.
jersey. You send me a jersey, West Virginia. I'll wear it next show with the neck roll. Well, moving on, Kamala, I believe you had something you wanted to bring up about the NFL this week.
Yeah, I want to talk about I think what I thought was the most watchable game out of the just garbage that was on for the NFL this week. I want to talk about Patriots Bucks. Patriots Bucks, I was going into it, I wanted to watch it not just because I'm a Pats fan, but because I truly believe that this was going to be a matchup between two of the best MVP candidates in Drake May and Baker Mayfield. And the game did not disappoint. I am officially slapping a grade on the New England Patriots draft class from this year, and the grade is fucking crushed it. I mean, all 4 of those rookies.
Oh, I'm not familiar
out.
with that letter grade.
It's on the Kamala scale. Fucking crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. I mean, Will Campbell at left tackle, who's just been a dog all year, just showed out like he's been doing all year. His pass protection was great. His run blocking was great. But then you had a breakout star in Travion Henderson, who ran for 147 yards and 2 tutties. His first touchdown came on a breakout 55-yard run right up the middle, and I think he reached a top speed of 22.1 miles per hour, which
that dude
is that fast?
Lightning.
That's the 5th fastest from a ball carrier this year.
Who are the 4 guys in front of him?
Jonathan Taylor's got to be one.
Jonathan Taylor, I believe, has the next fastest time.
From
Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Those are 2 Big Ten running backs right there, Jonathan Taylor and Travion Henderson.
Yeah, Travion Henderson finally got a chance to come out and kind of like make a role for himself, because the running back core for in New England is just decimated with injuries. So he got 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 tutties, and then the second touchdown that he scored was late in the game in the 4th quarter. The Patriots were up by, I think, 5 points, and he breaks loose on the sideline and blows past everyone, and then rounds his run out before the end zone and is looking at Vrabel the whole time like, you want me to go in and score? Can I go in and score now? And Vrabel was just like, get in there.
Yeah, that's the situation Nick was yelling at me, or yelling about his who's last week, because he should have slid.
Yes.
But whatever, it's the NFL.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the gap that dude created with his speed. Was he had 3 defenders trailing behind him, and he was so fast that he was able to round his run out, look around, and be like, "Can I score, please?" And
Chad Powers.
Vrabel waved him in. So that's another rookie that came out and absolutely crushed it. The third rookie I want to talk about is a guy who's really, really struggled to find where he fits in the receiver core, Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams finally breaks out and contributes to the team with 1 touchdown and 72 yards off of 1 catch.
It's another speed guy.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw his draft tape, but like the first clip is him just blowing past Travis Hunter.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see his draft tape.
Yeah, I think he's Washington State. Is that where he's from?
I think so. That sounds right.
I believe so. But yeah, his first clip in that draft tape was him just going like blowing right past Travis Hunter. You go, whoa, that speed's different. So and it's also tough for these like rookies to get on the field in an NFL playbook, and going through the training camp and doing that, and then trying to break in and get on the field is a lot different than, being the 5-star running back or whatever and coming into college, right?
Yeah,
it's a little bit different, and that's, I think, what are we, week 9 or 10 now in the NFL? That's kind of when you start to see these guys like really they're getting more comfortable. Getting used to it. There's injuries that are happening. They're forced to play a little bit. Like Travion Henderson, we've all known he's been talented enough to do this, but I don't know what's going on at practice or behind the scenes. Like, you don't know Like, is he taking a bit longer to learn the pass protection or this, or to get acclimated or to get used to the speed or whatever it is that might be different. So like you never know with these rookies like when they're gonna get their chance or get going. But Travion Henderson now looks a little bit more comfortable, and Kyle Williams coming in, like that's kind
Yeah.
of when you see these rookies get going.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all adapting and finally getting used to Vrabel's system in their rookie seasons, and I
Right.
also
It's
think
it's
injury.
difficult.
I also think injuries have a big part to play in it as well. I mean, the
Yep.
Patriots injury report Monday morning is not pretty, but I mean, there's a lot of hope. Now, the Patriots ended up beating the Bucks 28-23. Baker had a great game. I mean, nothing to sleep on there. Baker went 28 of 43, 3 tutties, 273 yards. Baker had a great game. It's just that I think New England was a little better. Up to this point, I think a lot of people have said, New England only looks good because they have the softest schedule. Their schedule is like
Their
fucking
schedule is soft.
yeah,
But
Charmin
this is the
soft.
NFL.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
I
I
don't
mean,
care about soft schedule in the NFL.
yeah.
Every single team is an all-star team.
But following up all this NCAA talk, I mean, they beat the Bills in Buffalo and they beat the Bucks in Tampa. That's if this was the NCAA, that's 2 quad 1 wins.
Oh, those are huge wins.
Yes. Now their strength of schedule for the rest of the season, I do believe, is rated as like the second easiest. But
Oh
I
yeah.
also think that's largely in part because the Jets and the Dolphins have just remained the Jets and the Dolphins that we've grown up with.
even though the
Um,
Dolphins did just
and the Bills
smoke
don't really
Buffalo.
look good either. The AFC East looks
It's
just
gonna run
like it
through New England again.
looks
Yeah.
just like it did in Belichick Brady like prime era. Like
Nick, that's
we said like after week 1 or week 2 that
making me
that
sick.
the Pats and the Pats and the Dolphins were going to be competing for last place because we thought the Jets looked really good out of the gate.
Well, the Patriots lost week 1 to the Raiders. And
Yeah.
as we know, the Raiders are not good.
No.
And then they also lost to the Steelers, and the Steelers are very up and down. But then if you look at, then they started just ripping off wins. Was this 7 in a row that they've won? But start looking at the Patriots schedule, forecasting this.
Mhm.
You got the Jets twice. So that's
Yes.
always good.
Mhm.
You have the Bengals, who are a problem. They're a sieve on defense.
Yeah.
They
You
can
get
light
the
it up with
Giants.
anyone.
They can line it up with anyone. At the Bengals is always dangerous. Then you have the Giants, who just fired their coach, and they're just a mess.
Which
And then you get the
I would like
Bills at home. Then you have
say
at
something about the
Ravens.
Giants.
That's the toughest game, is at Ravens.
that move makes no sense to me
No,
at
does
this
not.
point. Why not just can his butt in the offseason? Like, what's the point of firing him
Because their
now?
GM is a joke.
Yes.
He should have been fired as well over the offseason. Why? I don't get like why you're going to fire him now, because you
Put the
set your
camera on your
QB
face.
back, right?
I know.
Because it's not like you're firing him. What's wrong? You need me to turn
The
it back
camera's
up?
not even on your face.
I know I moved it to set it up for the next segment, but fine.
Stop talking.
Jabronis. You're just
Now you look like a
jabroni.
floating head.
No, what is the point of firing him now? Like,
don't know.
you fire him before.
Send a message. I don't know.
Fire him before. Stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, I think that like
Regardless.
returning back to just New England, I could not be more stoked. The Patriots are back. Vrabel is an amazing coach. You can tell he's just brought being a student of Belichick right back to prime New England. And Drake May's ability to just air the ball out. I mean, how dangerous is that guy just slinging that thing up through the air? I think he has like the most attempted passes over 20 yards, and his success rate is through the roof. The touchdown pass to Williams was lobbed up there. He missed it the first time, and then it came back down, reset, went back, and it ended up being a 72-yard bomb. Like it was I think it traveled 56 yards in the air, something stupid like that. But yeah, Drake May being able to air the ball out certainly helps. And then all this, just the speed and the talent and the system in general. I couldn't be happier with what's going on up there.
I mean, that's the
Foxborough.
biggest thing they lacked in recent years was speed, weaponry,
Yeah.
how to use it, how to utilize
Think you'd
it.
be impressed by my speed.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely
All right.
love New England.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
open up some cards.
Nick doesn't give a shit. Let's go ahead and move on now since he's ready.
How much more you want to wax poetic about them? right? I could. You want me to give an analogy?
Don't talk about something that isn't the cards if you're not gonna have the camera on your face.
You can just go pound sand and lick windows. That's the way I
Pound
see it.
sand is a good one. No one says pound sand anymore. You
Kick
old
rocks,
geezer.
pound sand, lick windows.
Yeah.
All
Hit the
all
bricks.
the above.
Hit the bricks. You
Right. So
punk.
what I was gonna do here is I have a box here. Try to mitigate
What's in the box?
glare, but it is
God,
hard
that's
on
just
the
bad.
with the ring light.
Bad.
But this is a box of 2025 Bowman Chrome U college football. Got this at Graybo's in Richmond, Virginia, in Scott's Edition,
Tag 'em.
which is part of Parlay, the bar. So it is that the building is half bar, half sports bar, half card shop, which is
Yeah, how sweet is that? How much? I knew you were gonna like that place when you said you were going there. I was like, oh yeah,
oh
you're
man.
gonna love this.
What was also cool is the card shop has these like signed memorabilia in there as well.
Yes.
So that I was like holding a authentic signed Dante Culpepper Vikings jersey. I was like, this is so
That's fucking cool.
sweet, right? So they had all stuff like that in there too. And all sorts of different cards. I was looking at the Pokemon cards because I like those. That's all. They had good stuff there.
Yeah, who
But I
doesn't?
decided to go with a blaster box of Bowman Chrome U 2025 College Football Edition just because it felt more on topic. And I like to get a blaster from college football and college basketball each year just because I think they're
Where's your
pretty
mat?
cool. As I've done before, opening up these packs is pretty cool because sometimes you get guys go, oh, I didn't know he was on that team or whatnot. And sometimes you get the cool ones where it's like the first card they've ever been on, which I also like as well. So
What is that?
what is this? All right, can we see the name?
No, I can't see it.
I can barely read it actually. The fonts they used here are difficult. Kamari Moulton, running back at Iowa.
Is that Iowa?
Wait, hold the card up so we can see it.
It's so hard to see it, even for me.
Ring light.
No, not even the light. Like just looking at it, the font they use is super difficult. Davion Gase, running back at UNC for Chapel Hill.
The glare from these cards.
These are
bad.
so shiny.
This is
These cards,
bad.
they're not always this shiny. Now this is sweet because this is a numbered card. This one's number 58 out of 99.
Scuff it up a little bit.
Peyton Bowen, in good position. Someone on Oklahoma, Peyton Bowen.
How many games of Oklahoma have you watched this year?
0.
Enough.
Red River.
That's a cool card though because this one is numbered again,
Watched a little bit of
58 out of
Michigan.
99. So that's cool. And then we have our first Texas Tech Red Raider, Caleb Douglas.
Okay.
I assume he's a receiver, but
Looks
again,
like a receiver.
oh yep, they have that listed there. Oh, sorry, Peyton Bowen's safety. It is hard. The fonts that they used on these is so hard to read. I don't know what they did this year. The card itself looks nice, but man,
his head coming down into the.
Oh, here we go. This guy made his first collegiate start this past weekend. This is Matt Zoller's QB
Tough
at
picture.
Mizzou.
Oh, so well, that's amazing that he had a card.
Yeah, this is why I think these are cool. Like you get somebody
This is
in
the backup quarterback
the
for
backup
Mizzou.
QB at Mizzou. He's got, if you can see here, the one in the
SEC bias. You think there's a UVA guy in any of these?
No.
Oh, speaking of now,
Cam
I-
Robinson should be there.
yes.
Handle my crotch.
But that's cool.
Tough look.
Next one here, Ian Strong, wide receiver from Rutgers.
Rutgers got a guy in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I will say for all of these guys, I don't really know any of them.
Now these next two, we actually just talked about him. Didn't reference him by name, but we brought him up. Darian Mensah, quarterback
QB Duke.
at Duke, and you guys
Yeah,
you can
he's
see
good.
here. This is a different type of refractor.
really shiny card.
It's different colors around the outside. This one is very cool to get that
Yeah,
from
that dude's
Mensah
really
there.
good.
And then Makai Lemon, who by many
yeah,
people is at USC ranked
USC,
as
yeah.
the best receiver in the country. That's a good card. It's not. You notice there's no one in the corner, so it's not the first one.
I can't see any of it.
No, it's a tough look.
Okay. Is that better?
No, none of it's not going to be better. Nick, you holding it up closer is not going to help. Just go. Just
Actually,
go through it.
it's helping me see it, to be
It
honest.
doesn't
with you.
look good.
You don't look good.
That's a lie.
Beavers.
You're the one that's
Anthony Hankerson, running back
got an Oregon
for
State
Oregon
guy.
State. Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
Beavers.
Ugh.
Great nickname. Braylon
How much
Russell.
wood can your beaver eat?
Braylon
How
Russell,
about we sing you a song about our beavers?
running back from Arkansas.
Darren
there.
McFadden?
Oh, I hope we get another beavers.
Now here we
Between
go.
the two
Your
beavers are better
favorite
than one.
maybe second favorite quarterback in the country, Lenore Sellers. And this one's a little different.
Don't say favorite question. I don't think he's any good.
Well, this card's kind of cool, so I'll take it. And
Great
then
athlete.
Isaac Wilson, who I believe this is Zach Wilson's brother,
Yes, it
quarterback
is.
at Utah.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, that don't you think it's a little odd? That's a big rivalry there. The Holy War. One goes to BYU, one goes to Utah. They must not like each other too much.
A lot of strife.
I feel like me and Nick.
A lot of strife.
I mean, I
here's
get it.
Here's one. Liberty quarterback Ethan Vasco,
Okay.
who I want to say did he start his career at ECU? I want to say he did.
I don't know.
Oh wow, another Rutgers player, DT Sheffield, wide receiver.
Are these
Rutgers.
like made
pack
in
is
like
New Jersey?
Yeah, are these made in like
Where's
Orange, New Jersey?
Newark?
I don't know. UCF running back Jaden Nixon.
Okay.
And Arizona State running back Kanye Udo.
I'll figure out who that guy is because he's probably going to run all over West Virginia next week.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Oh, here we go. Penn State. We are Penn State. Luke Reynolds, tight end.
Okay, is he the Tyler Wharton replacement?
And just like the
probably.
fans, the card is whited out.
Yep. Josh Hoover, quarterback at TCU.
Yeah, he's good. He can sling it. They throw the ball like 50 times a game. They're like TCU is like stuck in the like Big 12 like 10 years ago where he just chucked the ball at every play. Is that UCF again?
This is
same card?
yes, Jaden Nixon, but a pink refractor for him. If I can get a good light. No, not possible.
Do you have to
UCF.
like sign up as an NIL to like be on these cards or something?
That's a good question. There's probably something as part of like your
I
scholarship.
can't read that, Nick. It is so
This
glary.
this one is.
It looks like
evident.
Penn State, but
Yes, this is Trebor Pena, wide receiver, Penn State.
okay.
That's a little better.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Penn State, so they've been irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
All right, here we go. Baylor, Bryson Washington,
Hardly know her.
running back.
Bryson Washington?
Yes.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good.
Is this better? That's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
Whatever.
But yeah, he's very good.
Pierce Clarkson, quarterback at UCLA. Another backup QB getting on the card.
Yeah, you have to sign up for an NIL with this because there's no way that guy should be there.
This is a cool one. Lettered up, Jordan Tyson
That dude
at Arizona State.
Yeah, he.
This dude is awesome. He can play on my team.
You think
any
he's?
day.
Yeah, I know you love him. You'd probably go ahead and say he's the best wide receiver in the country, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
You could say
And
that.
another Peyton Bowen. This is the other one I had of him from Oklahoma was a numbered card, but this one is just regular one. Now Jordan Tyson is my guy.
He's so good. I can't wait to watch him this week against
Or
West
Penn
Virginia.
State, Katron Allen.
He's good, or was good. He was great the last 3 years.
Yeah. Katron Allen's there. Our first Indiana card, Lee Beebe Jr., running back.
Okay.
Don't know who he is, but Indiana.
Indiana,
Woo!
nice
Here
to
we
get
go.
Indiana on there, though.
Go Badgers, quarterback, Danny O'Neal. Special
Yikes.
pink refractor. Yikes.
Yikes.
Shred this thing.
Sorry,
That ain't
Danny.
worth it. And then last one we have Illinois QB Luke Altmaier.
Luke Altmaier.
Who's
I
a good
like him.
player.
Yeah, he's good. I like
Good
him.
player.
I like Illinois. I like Brett Bielema.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting packs. I need better players.
I do want to show the
Not to
Peyton
take away
Bowen.
from anyone, but
Peyton Bowen one is cool. This is
That's
first
a cool one.
edition. Special green refractor. It is numbered. That's how you know it's good. Number 58 out of 99. Only
that's a good one. Yeah,
That's a
I
cool
think
card.
there's a handful of guys there that I would say are good. The Jordan Tyson one's probably the best. I mean, he's
yeah,
the
well,
best player.
that's also a different looking card too. So that's a whatever. You'll see. I'll go see later if that has any extra value because it's not the base model of that, and it's a little different from those refractors we had in there. Right.
Make enough noise.
Yes, that was on purpose. Anything else before we move on to our favorites this week?
No.
That's going to take us to our favorite segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Visit them at onelegacyflorida.com and follow them on Instagram at onelegacyflorida to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. This week, we went with our favorite tight ends of all time. And don't everyone raise your hand at once and say, oh, that's me, and point to your ass. The position in football. Because my first instinct was to make an ass joke.
I can see you followed up with your instinct.
He's a great analyst.
I am.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Anal Horshizer. Go down in the annals of history.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kamala, you can go first.
It's pronounced anal. You seen the pills go in your mouth, sir?
Thank you. Go ahead, Kamala.
Okay. Honorable mention. What is going on there? Honorable mention. Tony Gonzalez. I mean, how can you not? I mean, I just feel like Tony Gonzalez belongs on this list, doesn't he?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, he
yes.
does. Thank
Correct.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Number 5. I'm gonna go with a guy who's just been super popular in recent years and continues to just have his popularity skyrocket. He's in a whole new era right now.
George Kittle.
No.
Zach Ertz.
Travis Kelsey. Era, get it? The Eras tour.
I got it. That's why I just
yeah. Travis Kelsey
my
Swift.
hat and put it back on my head.
Travis Kelsey Swift. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Travis Kelsey. He's just been so much fun to watch, and I think that his style of play again, I think, is just super representative of how the position is expected to be played if your team is going to be successful. I enjoy watching Travis Kelsey play.
I
I'm
disagree.
not ashamed to admit
But
it.
I'm not going to interrupt your list with an analysis while you're incorrect. So you can go ahead.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for not interrupting. Wow, that was incredible. Number 4.
Wait, hold on. We need to go back. No, I'm just kidding.
Number 4. Jesus Christ. And to think I put a pick in here for Nick. Number 4, I'm going to go with Jason Witten. Jason Witten, he was amazing to watch. He was an Iron Man. I still think back to some of his later seasons. I think it was like when Cowboys were playing like a Monday night game, and they did a whole thing in the pre-show about how like the length Jason Witten goes to after practices and before games to get game ready. And it was like the cryogenic, like pressurized boots that he has to wear, like his pre-game routine just to like make sure he was ready and able to play. It was a full 8-hour day leading up to the game. And I think
his last like couple years in the NFL, I would venture to guess his 40 time was like a 5.5.
Yeah,
that
probably.
dude couldn't move his last 2 years, and he was still effective.
Yes,
that's how good he was.
Hands don't go.
Hands don't go. And he could block.
To block. Yep, you just need quickness and intelligence.
And he had the great the dual half sleeve forearm sleeves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see those anymore.
Yeah. Number 3, I'm actually gonna, Stevie, you were right. I'm gonna go George Kittle. I do enjoy watching George Kittle play.
He's a madman.
And
He's fun.
like I think I'm also being like heavily influenced by the Netflix docuseries Receivers, because that he was on Receivers. Man, that guy was awesome. Him and
Yeah.
back when him and Debo were both on the Niners. Yeah, George Kittle's incredible. I love watching him on the field. Love watching the Little Caesars ads. You won't catch me in a Little Caesars ever, but that's neither here nor there. No shade. But yeah, George Kittle. Number 2, you might, some people would probably put this guy on the list because of his play on the field, maybe his charitable endeavors off the field. I'm putting him on here because he punched Rodney Ruxin. I'm going with Antonio Gates.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say you know him as his cameo for the league.
Yeah, I'm going with Antonio Gates,
You ravaged my team.
who just absolutely decked Rodney Ruxin in the spa. But yeah, Antonio Gates.
I don't know you, but now that I met you, I'm glad I destroyed your team.
I think that was the show's first cameo, actually.
I think it was.
And
Yeah,
it was a tremendous success. It was nothing. It was maybe a 5 seconds of screen time, but it was brilliant. But no, I mean, Antonio Gates was also electric to watch on the field. But that scene I'll remember that scene for the rest of my life. And then number 1, no surprise to anybody, it's Rob Gronkowski. My man is signing a 1-day contract with the Patriots to retire officially as a Patriot. Just a guy who brought so much success and versatility and sacrifice. And for all the shit that people talked about, how dumb he was, he's always been portrayed as just a big airhead. If you guys remember the Nike commercial where it was, he puts his head through a pane of glass, it's a snow day, and but he was but I mean, Gronk is incredible. That guy was also a huge gamer. If you guys have ever heard the story, I guess someone approached him and said, "Rob, we're trading you to the Lions," and he said, "No, you're not, because I'm retiring," just so he could stay in New England. So they didn't trade him because Rob told him he was going to retire, and then when the trade didn't end up coming through, he just, fuck it, I'm not going to retire. I'm still here. But that was another guy, who played through a lot of injury, and sacrificed a lot. I mean, towards the end of his career, he had the full arm brace and the full like thigh to ankle brace. I mean, that guy was just braced up. But yeah, I will always love watching Rob Gronkowski. That guy was an absolute titan on the football field. That's my list. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, I got 2 honorable mentions. I'm going to start with Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen was
Third leg
awesome.
Greg.
Third leg Greg. Yep. There you go. He was, I
Jesus
feel like
Christ.
he was fairly underrated when he played, but also he's underrated as an announcer. He should not have been taken off of the first team there.
No, he's better than Tom.
He's a lot better. He's the best NFL announcer right now.
Correct.
He's so good. I learn so much about football just listening to him talk. And he's also coaching a middle school team with Luke Kuechly, which is pretty cool.
Hilarious.
Next honorable mention. I need to mention the local Mechanicsville Atlee product, Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's awesome, man.
Yes,
he was also he was a quarterback in high school and was going to go to Virginia Tech to play quarterback. And then Penn State swooped in and made him a tight end. And he's so good. I love, 1, his versatility. He's very, very smart. 2, he is nasty as a blocker. That's what I really, really like about him, is that a lot of people, like when they're drafting some of these guys, they're kind of looking at like, oh, look, he can stretch the field. He can do this. Look at these like freak athleticism plays. And then you go Tyler Warren, look at him move the pile.
Yes.
Look at him clear out lanes. Why do you think Indianapolis's offensive line is so good? Tyler Warren's a big part of it. And it's a big part of why Jonathan Taylor has a lot of yards and is going to be an MVP candidate.
The teams that win have tight ends who can block.
Yes.
The only exception
is a drastic difference in the run game.
I mean, like you brought up Travis Kelsey. There's a reason that they always carry 3 tight ends because Noah Gray, it would be the number 1 tight end in almost any other team in the league. He's an excellent tight end, Noah Gray from Duke. 2-way tight end. He can catch the rock, and he's a great blocker, and they always have a third one who's a great blocker, right? And so that's what allows Kelsey to exist. If those guys weren't there, they wouldn't be as successful, believe it or not, because you have to have that extra person being able to block some of these guys. The teams across the league you brought up George Kittle before. He's an excellent blocker.
A fantastic blocker.
Right?
Yes.
The teams that succeed, their tight ends are good blockers. And if they're not good blockers, they have guys behind them that are good blockers. Like there are many Notre Dame tight ends in the league who catch maybe a couple passes all year, but are great blockers out there.
Yep. So Tyler Warren, that dude, he's going to be in the league for a long time. He's so good. Moving on. Number 5, Chris Cooley. I know he's kind of a hybrid H-back. Don't know where to put him type of thing. He's a football player. Absolute football player. And I'm going to put him as a tight end in this because the tight end position now is what he was. Right? You're moving tight ends everywhere now. You're putting them at fullback. You're putting them in the slot. You're putting them out wide. Chris Cooley did all of that.
He's a tight end because he also wasn't taking carries at fullback. So even though like sometimes he would line up as what, like you said, you call H-back, but like you said, basically just another tight end now. Those guys aren't taking carry. He wasn't lining up at fullback and taking a carry like, Mike Allstott. He has like a couple carries in his whole career. He was a fullback. Tight end.
He's a tight end. Yeah, he was awesome. Chris Cooley, very underrated player. Also, he had the art gallery in Leesburg, Virginia, where we grew up, and that was always cool to have a local Washington player have an art gallery. He also designed one of my T-shirts that I still wear. It's got the Chris Cooley signature on it. The Veterans Day T-shirt.
No, Chris Cooley was
pretty cool. Chris Cooley's awesome.
Imagine if he played on a team that didn't suck.
Yeah, it's a good.
I mean, think about it, he's a great I think 2 Pro Bowls, 1 or 2 Pro Bowls.
He's a
imagine
douche.
if he didn't play on a team that sucked.
No, do not besmirk Chris Cooley.
Not a fan. Met him several times. Big lesbian mule.
Okay. You also met RG3. How do you feel about him?
Horrible tipper. Any other brain busters? You know who I did like that played Vernon? You know who I did like that played alongside Chris Cooley? Vernon Davis.
He was really
Davis was really good.
I shook that dude's hand. His fingers wrapped around my hand twice. That dude had massive hands.
His hand.
He had massive hands.
Big hands.
There were a lot of studs on that team. Arakpo was on that team.
Oh,
from Texas.
Yeah, him. Yeah, he was.
He opened a cupcake shop in Texas, actually.
Was Ryan Kerrigan also there? He was a monster as well.
Bertois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to say something about that.
Could fit in his hand. 5.
I like Chris Cooley. No matter what you say, I like Chris Cooley. Next one, the league star Antonio Gates. I mean, if Kamala wasn't going to say it, I was going to say it. That his greatest achievement was his cameo in the league. But Antonio Gates, lest we forget.
His greatest achievement.
Keenan Allen just broke his record for, I think, most receptions as a San Diego Charger, or I guess LA as a Charger. But that's also crazy that your tight end had your record.
And he didn't even play college football.
He did not. He was San Diego State.
No, Kent State.
Kent State. Oh, okay.
Add him to the list of studs from Kent State. Edelman, James Harrison, Antonio Gates.
Nick Saban.
Josh Cribbs might be that. Nick Saban, yeah.
Josh Cribbs. That's another league cameo.
Josh Cribbs was a baller. I need to look that. Give me a second. I may have missed.
Yeah,
I
Josh
thought he
Cribbs.
was also a Kent State.
Josh Cribbs,
QB.
Terrell Suggs, and Josh Cribbs.
Yeah, well, I don't have the Baltimore defense, so
So-
he's out. How about Josh Cribbs?
Yes, Josh Cribbs from Washington D.C.
I
Dunbar
think I
High
felt my
School.
hamstring
Went to Kent
tighten up.
State.
All right, next one. Number 3, Dallas Clark.
Mm.
That was another one. I believe he was Iowa,
Yes,
correct?
he was.
No gloves.
Nope.
I think that was my favorite part about Dallas Clark is that he
and
never
he
wore
wore
gloves.
number 44,
44,
which
yes.
stood out too.
Well, I have 2 guys in the 40s on this
Yes.
list. Chris Cooley wore 47 and
Yes.
Dallas Clark wore 44. Yeah, it did stand out. And he was always like the forgotten player on that team, right? You had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning,
Brandon Stokely.
Brandon Stokely, Edgerrin James. The Indianapolis Colts know how to draft
Pierre
so well.
Garcon.
Austin Collie was a 4th round pick. Dallas Clark, he was so good.
Yes.
Some of the catches he made with no gloves, awesome. Moving on from Dallas Clark,
Who's
we're going to,
pounding their thing right now.
I don't know.
Please stop.
Was it me doing this?
Yes.
Yes. But
Okay.
keep going.
I was scrolling on my phone here.
Keep
Tony
pounding-
Gonzalez.
Keep pounding that chicken.
Tony Gonzalez is my number 2. Thank you for derailing all of this, Nick. Tony Gonzalez.
Don't make noise, douche.
Jesus Christ.
You're telling me that. You would, oh my gosh.
I will end this show right now.
You don't have the power to. You do not have the power.
Close.
The show goes on.
Anyway, Tony Gonzalez, he was the first tight end that I know Sterling Sharp and Shannon Sharp like changed the game, but Tony Gonzalez for me, that was the first one that
Sterling
like
Sharp wasn't a tight end.
sorry,
Shannon.
Shannon Sharp changed the game of like your really athletic wide receiver type tight end that could stretch the field and do all these different things. Tony Gonzalez to me felt like the best one out of that, and he was also a former basketball player
Correct.
as well. Yeah, that Tony Gonzalez, awesome. Still announcing game, or well, I guess part of a broadcast team or analyst team, I guess. And my number 1 is Gronk. Like Kamala said, Gronk has to be number 1. I think he's the best tight end ever. I know he doesn't have the longevity as a Jason Witten or Travis Kelsey, but I think if you take them in their prime, Rob Gronkowski is the best tight end of all time. His blocking ability
Thank you.
was a complete game changer on those teams. There are so many times in critical situations you just run behind Gronk. He's driving his guy 6-7 yards, and boom, hole like you're just clearing things out. He was a cheat code.
You had
Complete
to go
and
low
total
on him too.
Just mismatch everywhere. You couldn't. Linebacker's not fast enough to play him. A safety's not good enough in coverage. A corner's too small. His ability to go up and high point the ball was best, like of everyone. I mean, he was so damn good. His catch radius. Yeah, that's the word I was looking at. His catch radius and his blocking ability.
So one thing on his blocking ability, the Patriots started a trend, and you see it a lot now. It's starting to go away because of different formations, but like a couple years ago, you saw it all the time called like a wham block, basically, where he's on one side of the formation. He comes across the line of scrimmage, like behind, either coming in motion or from his spot there off the line of scrimmage, and he kicks out either the end or almost like a trap where he'll hit the D tackle and the center or guard goes to the second level. And that's so big because both those things allow that offensive lineman to get to the second level, and it creates like a seam there for your running back. But if you don't have a guy who's a stud blocker, you can't do that. You also have to have a guy who's quick enough to get there as well. And Gronk's blocking ability, like you said, is so massively underrated. That is, to me, the only reason why he's in the conversation for greatest tight end ever. Not because, he was that good of a blocker. He was an excellent blocker, but when you combine all those aspects of Gronk, and like you said, doesn't have the longevity, but when you combine all those things, it doesn't matter. Like, out on the field, how many tight ends in the history of football have impacted the game as drastically as he did? And there's very few, if any, especially when you
Correct.
consider that blocking aspect and the fact that, again, they made these other teams start to look for guys that can do that because they notice the seams what that creates and how that helps your whole blocking scheme to have someone who can make that wham block. Very underrated
Correct.
aspect, in my opinion. Okay, so I have 2 honorable mentions for you. The first one, Jeremy Shockey.
Oh, good
Oh, that's a good
one.
one.
Yep,
That's a good.
just
The
awesome.
giant
That's a
eagle
very good
tattoo.
one.
Yes, just a like you boy, you love to say complete psycho. That is Shockey out there. He
Absolutely.
is the
I forgot about him. That's a great one.
reincarnation of Mark Bavaro, who the former Giants tight end in the 80s, who would just run over people. Shockey was that to the Giants in the early 2000s. I think 4 Pro Bowls in 5 years, something like that. Extremely productive from the U. He was a menace out there. It was great.
Absolute menace. That hair too. Like he
That's the
was.
best part.
Yeah.
And my other honorable mention is Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Out of UCLA. He is still playing. He's in his 40s. He's the oldest player who's not like a
He's still in
kicker.
the Jaguars.
No. He won the Jaguars. Obviously, that's who drafted him out of UCLA. He was on the Bears, I think, last. I think now he got picked up by someone. I have to double check who it is. Almost like practice squad stuff. But yeah, in his 40s, and he is there because he's that good of a blocker. And that's what I love is that his longevity is tied directly to his ability to do the thing that people don't want to do and do the thing that doesn't make the headlines. But yet he's still playing for 20 freaking years in the most physical, brutal, destructive sport to your body. And that is incredible to me. So Mercedes Lewis, I had to put him there somewhere. He is my next honorable mention there. Number 5 is Heath Miller from
UVA.
UVA, the perfect Pittsburgh Steelers tight end. I mean, seriously, if you could think of someone for that fan base, that city, that team, the culture to play tight end, it's Heath Miller. Great blocker, almost blocker first and foremost, incredible hands, and is willing to do the little things to help you win. The type of guy, again, you win with guys like Heath Miller. The Steelers won with a guy like Heath Miller. Great player. Number 4 is Gronk. No, for all the reasons you guys have brought up. His blocking, he's one of, if not the best blocker I've seen. There's only, to be honest, I think there's only like 1 or 2 people I could ever think of that are a better blocker. And again, it never gets brought up with him. He was such a good blocker and so dynamic in the pass game. Changed, boy, you brought it up. There's no one who can really cover him properly. The only way you stop him is you injure him, essentially, right? But Gronk, fantastic. Number 3 is a certain coach from a certain
I
team.
knew this.
Yeah, we knew this was coming.
I could have.
Sunday's gonna beat.
I could have written
Giants,
yours for you.
beat the Giants 127 to -3. And it's Coach Mike Ditka. He revolutionized the position. We talk about revolutionize, right? And you bring all these guys up. He created and started what we now see as the tight end. They wasn't a position to start. It really wasn't. There was never in the annals of football a tight end position. He started that with his combination of receiving prowess and blocking skill, his speed, his size, all of that. Right? All of these guys on our list have Mike Ditka to thank for their careers. And he doesn't get brought up enough, I think, in the greatest tight end ever conversations. Because there are a couple guys even like right after him who sometimes get brought up more because they might have more counting numbers, right? Obviously, Ditka is not going to have the counting numbers based on when he played, but again, none of these guys exist without Mike Ditka.
He is also the first tight end in the National Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is, right? And he is the true revolutionary of all these people on any of our lists. Is Mike Ditka.
Biggest head I have ever seen.
Yes.
Just an absolute
pumpkin.
Melon. It's a pumpkin. Yeah, it's a gourd.
Prize-winning squash. Number 2 is Tony Gonzalez.
Prize winning.
One of the first, I think the second football jersey I ever owned was a Tony Gonzalez jersey. I loved Tony Gonzalez. And you said great receiver, right? That's what stands out is that he's all time in the top 10 receiving, most receptions ever, most receiving yards ever by anyone, not tight ends, anyone ever, right? But what I love about Tony Gonzalez is as he got older and the speed went away, kind of like what we see from some of these starting pitchers like a Kershaw and a Sabathia, he adjusted his game to allow himself to stay in the NFL. He became a good blocker. He's talked about it openly about how when he got to the league and doing these things, he was not a willing blocker, and he was always knocked for it. And as he got older, he realized the value of it, realized how much, a la Mercedes Lewis, it allows you to stay in the league and keep your job. And he worked really hard to become a good blocker. And by the time he was on the Falcons, one of the biggest reasons he was still there is because of how good of a blocker he became. So Tony Gonzalez, number 2, and number 1, no brainer to you guys. He's my favorite football player of all time. Is Jason Witten.
Jason Witten.
Right. When you combine all of the things that goes into being a tight end, right? The blocking, the receiving, the versatility, which we know is important, being able to line up in different parts, make different plays. I would argue he's the best tight end ever because I just said Tony Gonzalez, where he ranks in career receptions. Witten's the next person in line behind him. Total receptions ever by anyone, any position, right? And you think about that, and that's crazy considering he was on, the Cowboys, right? Like, yes, the Cowboys have had some success, but he wasn't on those Cowboys teams that won stuff, right? He was on, yes, he had Romo thrown to him a lot, and Romo's very underrated. Like, he gets a lot of flack, which is just because of the team he played for. He doesn't deserve that. If you look at the teams he played on, the way he played, right? But still, right? Tony Romo's not Aaron Rodgers, right? He's not Brady. He's not Breeze. He's not Manning. And Witten putting up these numbers with him and whatever QBs, Bledsoe before him or whatever it is, Dak after Romo, is mind-blowing because you also watch Witten play, and he, like you said, boy, at the end of his, even normal in his career, he's not that fast. He's not the biggest, not the fastest, not the strongest, but the smartest guy out there was Jason Witten, and he was able to succeed because of that effort and his hands. You never saw him drop a pass. If it touched his hands, he caught it.
Better hands, him or Larry Fitzgerald?
Oh,
That's a really good question.
that's a great question. Probably go with Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
But that would be a heck of a competition to see them like do some sort of hands thing and go against each other.
All hands team. We should have one of those. An all hands team.
We can do that. But I said this a few weeks ago when we did our favorite players by sport, and Witten was my number 1 for football. The greatest thing that like epitomized who he was as a football player and human being was that game against the Eagles where he got his helmet knocked off and ran 20 more yards, then put his shoulder down to finish the play, right, and not just run out of bounds. Like that's a guy who is just labeled football player. I can put him on any team, anywhere with any coach, any quarterback, and he would have been successful. And in my opinion, he is the best tight end ever when you consider all the factors that go into what it means to be a tight end. Anything else before we move on?
Nope.
Nope.
So that's going to take us to our What to Look For segment, brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Conlon, give the people something to look for.
November 13th, the final episode of the Internet Invitational, which is being put on and released by the Barstool Sports and the Bob Does Sports YouTube pages, is going to conclude. This has been the biggest collaboration and the biggest success in the YouTube golf world. and it has been so much fun to watch.
It's been so much better than I ever thought it would be.
Yes, it firmly cements that like YouTube golf isn't about like the Brysons and the Rorys of the world. People that watch YouTube golf don't want robotic swings and perfect shots. They want personality. They want fun. They want some stakes in the game. And this 6th episode of this entire series is going to be incredible. I'm not going to spoil anything because the 5th episode just came out yesterday. So I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but if you haven't watched it, go back, catch up, give it a watch. Like I said, the episodes alternate releasing between Bob Does Sports and Barstool Sports. So go back, catch up, give it a watch. It's so much fun to watch, and could give you some ideas on some games to play with your next outing with your bros. But yeah, the last episode of the Internet Invitational is what I'm looking forward to this week.
I like it, boy.
On Thursday this week, we brawl again, basketball edition. West Virginia Pitt, backyard brawl.
Where's that game?
It's in Morgantown, I believe.
We brawl again.
Again, yes.
That's interesting that both the football and basketball games are in Morgantown.
Let me
Yes.
double check. Make sure we double check this, but I believe that game is in Morgantown.
Not that matters.
That is in Morgantown, yeah.
It matters, but it's kind of interesting to me that they would allow
That is interesting. Yeah,
both to
Both.
be there.
I know we've been playing basketball on a regular. Well, actually, both of them we've been playing on a regular basis. So they've
The
been,
last couple of years, yeah.
they've been in each other's. You get back-to-back home games in the brawl, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. There's some college football that's got some big games. I think Texas and Georgia play this week. UVA Duke. That might be the biggest
Just implication-wise, not
implication. Yeah, Texas, Georgia.
not for like entertainment value.
No. Definitely not entertainment value. But yeah,
isn't there
could,
another where College Game Day is this week? Is Pitt and Notre Dame? That's
They are,
another
but
noon game.
do you have? All right, yeah. Let me ask you a question, Nick. Do you have any issue with Pitt's coach Narduzzi basically saying he got asked the question, "Is this a must-win game?" And he said, "Absolutely not. That Notre Dame could beat us by 100. It doesn't mean anything." Do you have any issue with that?
Not because that's the way the play. Like if you were,
He's right.
he's right from the standpoint of thinking about what the goal is in college football, right? Is to get to the playoff, right? So for his team's ability to get to the playoff, you could say that because they went out, they could go to the ACC championship. But at the end of the day, though, right? If like you brought up the scenarios of the ACC not getting a team
Pitt
in,
is
right?
in there. Yeah,
Right. If Pitt gets blown up by 100 and
they're
gets
not getting in.
right, and they get to the ACC championship, and maybe they drop another game before then, and because things happen, and then they lose or they win that ACC championship. Even with that loss, they may not get in because a JMU and USF may be above them. So from that
Pitt,
standpoint,
lest we forget, also has the horrendous loss to West Virginia.
yes. But what the point he's trying to say is like, if you're going to put the emphasis on all this other crap, this game doesn't mean anything because it's a non-conference game. And right, like from that standpoint, but you play to
You
win
can't
the game.
say you can't. Yeah, you can't. You
That
can't
was meant-
say you can't say if we lose by 100, it's fine or whatever.
It's
what-
meant as a shot. His words could be
Yes.
taken different. It's meant as a shot at Notre Dame. It's meant as a shot at the college football playoff, the way they do things, and from that perspective. But
I would have rather him say it's a non-conference game, so it doesn't hurt us if we lose this
we
game.
have a
but
great
we're
opportunity here playing a great team to make
Correct.
a statement to the committee.
exactly
just leave it
correct.
at that.
That's all you have to say. For some reason, you shoot off this crap and it bothers people. So that all you had to say was exactly what you said. So, but he at some point he is actually correct. This game does not matter for Pitt.
Yes, but it could. Right. So I have some good things here that are not football related. Our show is very football centric. this week. So men's college basketball, several big time games. You have number 2 Purdue taking on number 8 Alabama. Alabama fresh off their win against St. John's at MSG.
It's a huge
which
win,
is
by the way.
an incredible win.
That's a resume booster later in the year that someone's going to look back and
That's
go,
the
is Alabama a 1 seed or are they a 2 or 3 or whatever? And then you go, oh, but they have this win against St. John's.
yes.
That's it.
That
a big deal.
rivals in importance or whatever strength of resume when that Arizona, that's the other team I was going to say, number 5 Arizona takes on number 15 UCLA. Arizona beat defending champ Florida in their first game. So that's a big one there. The Arizona schedule's like they've got, I think they play Alabama too. Like they have some dogs that they have to play as well. And then the other one, I brought this up earlier to you, number 3 UConn is taking on number 7 BYU. UConn is listed as the away team. That game is in Boston. This is how we get an away win. We're listed as the away team, but we're playing a game in Boston against BYU, who is located in Utah.
And that's nowhere near Boston, correct?
I have to. So am I constantly going in and out of Pittsburgh? What is this man saying?
I get it. He wants to go to Fire Island. He wants a vacation. No, absolutely not.
So you have Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yep. Yeah, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Two cities.
Two cities in the same state. Doesn't make sense. Other things here. College volleyball. Stanford is ranked number 5 in the country. They've got a heck of a weekend here to play number 3 Pitt and number 10 SMU. Now they get both those games at home.
Are those teams all ACC in volleyball?
Correct. Oh, yeah.
That's
The
brutal.
ACC volleyball used to be complete, just dumpster fire. But Louisville and Pitt have come in and made a mark. And now now you get a Stanford in here, you get an SMU in here, and it's kind of you're boosting your resume now. And I believe Miami is ranked pretty high as well, volleyball-wise. So the ACC now has got legit squads, whereas before, I think up until a couple years ago, there had never been an ACC team make the final.
That's been a lot of Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten is normally your power there.
Nebraska, Wisconsin,
Big Ten and
Penn
old
State.
Big 12 schools. And then men's college hockey, number 2 Michigan travels to Happy Valley to take on number 5 Penn State in. Kamala knows this, likely number 1 overall pick Gavin McKenna, right? I believe his name is at Penn State. So and so they play 2 games. So they'll play a game on, I think, like Friday and Saturday. So those should be.
Did they beat Wisconsin over the weekend?
Wisconsin slaughtered Michigan.
Oh, really?
I want to say that game was like 6-1.
We were turning
or
on
like
a little
7-2.
bit. We had flipping back and forth, and then I got tired of flipping back and
forth. Again, I believe what they try to do, especially the Big Ten, will play 2 games. You'll play 2 games. You'll play the team Friday and Saturday, wherever it is, and not just home. No, I'm saying not a home and home. Like they may do that with some like Michigan State, but it'll be like, oh, Wisconsin goes to Michigan and plays 2 games. Michigan's going to Penn State and staying there and playing 2 games against Penn State.
Okay.
But yeah, Wisconsin steamrolled them.
Go
in
Badgers.
one of those games this past weekend. Anything else before we move on and end this debacle?
Nope.
All right, so that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. For the boy Stephen Vesci and the man Stephen Comlow, I am the coach Nick Vesci. Remember, be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.